Good morning. Today's class would be on aphoristic essay. So in the last class we saw about essay and its types, characteristic features and their elements and how they endure their value. And today it is about a particular type of essay called aphoristic. So what is this aphoristic essay say? Essay comes to view and how it is related with Francis Bacon's legacy. So they do have a strong connection between Francis Bacon and as well as this aphoristic essay, because this Francis Bacon is the person who always refers to this style of writing and through which he was popularized. It was where this particular essay is very concise statements which are called as aphorisms. They are just used to convey profound ideas and truths. Often they focus on the practical wisdom, making their essays memorable and impactful with their brevity and clarity. So we can even call Francis Bacon as the father of aphoristic essays. So here we are going to explore the particular type of essay called aphoristic essay, which is a unique literary form which was pioneered by Francis Bacon in England. So further we would look upon the contributions made by Bacon and what are the characteristic features of aphoristic writing and how it had its impact on literature. So what is an aphorism? So it is a brief statement. First of all, brief, it should be a concise sentence which should express only the important truth. There may be many truths, but we have to look upon which is a significant one. So a brief statement is, as for aphorism, it is a brief statement. It should have a concise sentence expressing an important truth, and as well it should involve with the personal experience of the author. So based on the author's observation and insight, he would reflect in his writing his own perspective or his own personal experience over to it. So the compressed wisdom. So what is compressed wisdom is, it refers to a short, impactful statements, or you can say even as proverbs, that is going to convey a deep life lessons in a very concise manner. That is called a compressed wisdom. It should be a short statement which conveys the deep life lessons, or sometimes it may be called as a proverb, to bring out the which encapsulates a complex idea about morality, conduct, or the human condition, allowing for easy memorization and reflection. And the thing is, the wisdom often applies to a wide range of situations and life experiences. So, for example, I would say, a stitch in time saves nine. What does it mean? So, addressing a small problem, even if the problem is very small, if you are going to prevent it at an earlier stage so that you not face a big problem, that is, a stitch in time saves nine. You have to think on time and act accordingly. So that would be the meaning for a stitch in time saves nine. So the single line, a stitch in time, means it brings a compiled ideas. So much of things put together. It has so much meanings, and it is going to give a wiser thought as well. So act and think positively and act accordingly on time. That is it. So you must, this aphoristic essay must have a brief statement, and it should have the personal experience of the author, and then the thought should be a compressed wisdom. So Francis Bacon, being the pioneer of the English essay, in 1597 he publishes his first volume of essays introducing the genre to England. So at first time he introduced this genre, that is essay, to England for the first time in 1597. So what is the tone of an essay would be? Bacon gives essays an impersonal and objective approach. So we already dealt about subjectivity and objectivity, and here comes again the same. So the essay should always have an objective tone. It is impersonal. So it deals nothing about the personal feelings or emotions of the author. So coming to the moral counsels, essays focus on providing counsels, civil and moral to readers. So the essay should give a professional or legal advice to somebody with a problem. That is what counsel, either it may be a civil problem or it may be a moral ethical thinking, so that whatever the problem may be, it should be solved in a very convincing way. The advice given especially as a result of consultation is called as a counsel. So this is how Bacon's essays are structured with an objective tone, and it gives ideas for moral counsels, either it is civil or moral. So how did Bacon approach these essays? So again the repetition, it is objective and impersonal, unlike Montague's subjective style, whereas Bacon's is objective. Montague was the first person who introduced this essay, and this person's style of writing is completely subjective. So Bacon's essays are highly objective and impersonal. He didn't follow whatever the style was followed by Montaigne. He focuses only on providing wisdom and insights rather than personal anecdotes. So an anecdote is nothing but a short and a very crisp story about a real person or event, or it may even be a short narrative, usually personal in nature. Someone might tell an anecdote on a first date as a way to break the ice and get to know their partner. So the members of the family might share anecdotes about a family member who has died as a way to process emotions and reminiscence. So this anecdote, you have various meanings, like it's a narrative form or a short form of narration, or you can say it is, even you can say it as an episode or some incident, or you can say it as a brief story about something interesting about a person's life. So unlike Montaigne, this Bacon haven't followed this subjective style. He has a different idea of objective and being impersonal, and his essays would always provide wisdom and thought-provoking insights in with personal anecdotes. So coming to the second point, dispersed meditation. So Bacon viewed his essays as dispersed meditation. So what do you mean by this dispersed meditation? It is an important term. It is a collection of detached thoughts. So everybody is having their own perspective on a particular issue, right? So combining all our detached thoughts. If I do have a negative opinion about something, and if you do have a positive opinion about something, so all these thoughts are collected together on various subjects. Okay, it doesn't deal with a particular subject. Various thoughts from various subject matters are collected together, and particularly this approach allowed him to cover a wide range of topics concisely. So this collection of various thoughts from various persons with various subjects helps Bacon to cover a wide range of topics in a very precise manner. So this is called dispersed meditation. Actually, I would also like to explain further about this dispersed meditation. We can even say it as a collection of short disconnected thoughts. I may have one thought and you may have another thought. Both of our thoughts cannot be synchronized. So we have some disconnected thoughts. My point would not connect with yours, and whereas yours cannot be connected with mine. And this is being absorbed on various topics. So if some 10 to 15 topics are given to a person, to you and me, take for example, and I'm going to give a different opinion, you're subjected to give a different opinion. So both our thoughts are highly disconnected, and if these collection of thoughts are put together, with various topics, then that is called as dispersed meditation. So essentially acting like a series of brief independent reflections that are jotted down without a strictly linear narrative. So it highlights the idea that is essays or scattered yet insightful meditations on diverse subjects. So this is what dispersed meditation means. So what are the characteristics of Bacon's essays? He used forceful language in all his essay forms. Sentences come down like the strokes of a great hammer. Like just you're going to stick with the hammer. That's how the word should be such forceful. It should enhance, it should highlight what the writer wants to convey. A forceful language is nothing but a way of expressing the ideas that is very strong and firm and that demands attention or action. It can also use to express opinions without trying to offend people. So this is how Bacon has uses language in a very powerful, vigorous and convincing, valid and dynamic way. So in writing, forceful languages can be used to examine themes and explore and give voice to the oppressed and put a spotlight on injustices. And secondly, it is concise expression. Ideas should be conveyed without superfluous words or elaborate structure. It should be very short, no over imagination, no over exaggeration, right? So don't elaborate the expression. Thirdly, it is insightful content. It should be packed with observations on human nature and life. You should always relate human life with nature so that you might have a insightful action towards your content. So your aphoristic style should possess these three things. It should be short and have crisp sentences. Bacon's essays are always composed of brief, impactful sentences that convey complex ideas succinctly. So complex ideas, I already told you, it is a collection of ideas. Collection of various ideas are called as complex ideas. Succinctly is nothing but it is telling it in a brief way. For example, you would say in a concise manner. To make the reader understand in a very easy way, you are going to use a very easy, simple words to make the reader understand the concept in a very easier way. So the secondly, Bacon style relates to wisdom condensed. So each sentence often reads like a standalone piece of wisdom of observation. So every point should have a uniqueness in portraying the wisdom, or when the reader observes a particular sentence, it should make him think wise. So thirdly, it is direct communication. Ideas should be expressed without preamble, getting straight to the point. You should not go in and around the point. It should be direct and it should be very much to the core of the reader, not to bring out any outside view over it. It should be very direct and straight to what the writer coming to say. So here are few examples of Bacon's aphorisms. This is the most famous quoted line, I would say. Reading make the full man and writing an exact man. So it is quoted from Bacon's Of Studies. I also remember this money makes a good servant but a bad master. So there is studies serve for delight, for ornament and for ability. So all these can be a good example for Bacon's aphorisms. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. Then read not to contradict, not to believe, but to weigh and consider. These lines are all reflecting the aphoristic sense of Bacon's style. impact on English literature. So how this Bacon style had its impact in English literature. It becomes a pioneering form. He introduced the essay genre to English literature, and secondly, the stylistic innovation that he had, that is the style of aphorism, especially in prose writing, established a way to have a great impact over English literature. Then his intellectual, that is philosophical and moral thoughts shaped the aphoristic essay to a primitive group of people. And the literary legacy, he inspired generations of essayists and thinkers not of particular age. Almost of all the ages, people love to spread this had this inspiration for his aphoristic style of essays. So coming to distinguish between Bacon and Montague's style of writing. So Montague's is always following the subjective approach, whereas Bacon is always going with the objective one. Whereas Montague is personal and it is self-revealing essays focused on the author's experience, whereas Bacon's is not so. He is almost impersonal and objective. So what about Bacon's transformation? He adapted the essay form to be more objective and impersonal, and he had a unique style of writing it in a very concise, especially focusing on moral, civil and concise, moral and civil counsels. So what is the structure of Bacon's essays? He don't use any preface. So he says no preface. Essays begin directly without introduction. So this aphoristic essay does not contain any introductory note. So that is called preface. So the secondly, concise paragraphs. Ideas should be presented in brief in paragraphs with focused sections. That's the paragraphs. So you don't have any introduction or something to describe about the body of the essay. You might have some number of paragraphs, but the idea should be presented in a very brief manner and it should be highly focused. So what about the statements? The key points are expressed as memorable sayings. So like a proverb, the important idea should be portrayed like a proverb so that the reader could not forget it. It should always prick them and it should make them exhaustive. So abrupt endings. Essays conclude without formal conclusions. They don't have any formal conclusion. It would be ended at any time. That is abrupt endings. You can't expect that we are going for conclusion. All of a sudden you will come for a conclusion. So how come the themes are celebrated in Bacon's essays? Truth and morality are the main and primary theme of Bacon's essays. He explores ethical confusions, that is dilemmas, and the nature of truth in many essays. Almost in all of his essays, he explores the truth and morality. Then power and politics. Essays often discuss the nature of leadership. It brings out the potential ability of the hero and political maneuvering. So the political rages that occur during the particular period. So then vice versa, he has to give importance for knowledge and wisdom. He emphasizes the importance of learning and applying the knowledge in a very wise manner. So the legacy of Bacon's essays, it was first published in 1597. Bacon's first volume of essay was published, making the birth of English essay. Then he has written total number of 58 essays in the final edition, covering a various range of topics. So years of influence, the influence is about more than 400 years, and Bacon's essay have been studied and admired for over 4 centuries. So hope we are also reading his legacy even now. So criticism and appreciation. So criticism is passing comments. It may be either positive or negative. So praise is a positive one. So admired for concise wisdom, the way he used his concise, brief and thoughtful and wise thinking along with profound insights into human nature. This is appreciable one. Dean Church praised the essay's forceful style, comparing them to the strokes of a great hammer. So Dean Church, a person, praised Bacon's essays as a forceful style, comparing them to he was comparing the words and the style of Bacon to the strokes of great hammer, that is a beat got by a hammer. So criticism, some critics find the style too abrupt, so it may be again a negative comment. Some people feel that some critics had a view of it is too abrupt and lacking in emotional depth, that the essays don't contain any emotional intensity of the author. So the impersonal tone can be seen as detached from human experience. If something is not emotional, the critics say it is not, it is highly detached from the experience of the humans. It is not connected to the humans. That is what the critics used to say. So how it influenced the modern writing? So journalistic style, Bacon's concise, direct approach influenced the development of modern journalism. So this has been a model for journalistic views. So the concise and the approach Bacon used was highly helpful for the journalist. Self-help literature. The counsels and Bacon's essays foreshadowed modern self-help and advice writing. So it is very much easy for the content writers, those who are going to make a self-help group or who needs assistance for writing. It is very much easy. So if they come across, if they are thorough with this aphoristic essay and types of essays, it would be easy to become a content writer, or you can be a self-help group, or you may give a piece of advice to the writing department. So what is this academic writing? So you will have a clear structured approach as how to present the ideas, and you might have an influence over the academic essay writing. So you can be very much formal enough to write or to bring out your personal ideas in a very objective manner. That is what is called as academic writing. You can bring your influence with the help of following the style of Bacon. So social media, the aphoristic style resonates in the age of Twitter and short form content. This aphoristic style always resonates is to produce sound to have meaning or importance for someone. So suppose if the bell rings in our campus, what would we think of? The hour is over and it's time for the next teacher to come upon to the class. So this is how the another example I would like to bring it out as the siren resonated throughout the city. Uh, if an ambulance go with the siren, what happens? We have some jerk within us, right? Something fishy happens, we could get some idea about it. Or in Tamil we say it as edirolikum. So the sound that is raised from this aphoristic style is for the ages, even in Twitter and in writing shorts, doing shorts in this Instagram. So coming to the conclusion part, Francis Bacon's aphoristic essays revolutionized. It has some, uh, or it always has some impact on English prose and established a new literary form. So Francis Bacon was one of the key important person to bring out this particular genre and make it established with the help of a prose piece. Their concise wisdom, objective tone, moral focus continue to influence the writers every now and then. So his legacy as a father of English essay remains secure, and his aphorisms still resonating with modern readers seeking timeless insights into human nature and society. So throughout this particular essay, you would always come across the particular features of the essay. It should be a concise one. Secondly, it should have some wisdom over the thoughts. And thirdly, it is objective in tone, that is impersonal in tone. And finally, you should have some moral civil counsel. And then, being the father of the English essay, Bacon remains secure by bringing the aphorisms in and resonating with modern readers, highlighting the insights of human nature and society. So this is what an aphoristic essay means to Sir Francis Bacon. Hope you understand this. Thank you.